Tom C says, if this isn't the right form for this question, please direct me to the appropriate place. Okay, this is the question I was going to show you, Tom. He says, I purchased your YouTube ads training being a complete novice to ads. Fantastic course, by the way. Thank you, Tom. He says, any advice on running ads for lawyer lead gen videos? For example, how would you go about putting ads in front of people who need a divorce attorney? Okay, well, Tom, if you go through the entire training, you should know that you can use in-market audiences, which is what I highly recommend, or custom intent audiences. So what I did was I pulled open one of my, or my Google Ads account here, just to show you, for example, if you come into, let's go to browse. And if you look at in-market, life event, and custom intent audiences, now I'm looking at a display campaign. Display and YouTube ads have very similar audiences, in-market audiences. There are some slight differences, but they're very, very similar. Okay. So I'm looking at the display campaign right now, but if we could take a look at in-market, life events, and custom intent, you can go into in-market audiences and you can look for business services, maybe look for legal. I don't know if they have a separate one for legal, but you could look for business services maybe and see if there's something in there for legal. My point is go through the different in-market audiences. Preferably I'd start there and see, and again, there's a lot of them. So you just have to start clicking through the different categories and then clicking down the drop downs to expand them and see if you can find one for lawyers. I don't do anything for lawyers. So I was just hoping to find an in-market audience for lawyers, and there very well may be, but I'm not going to click through all of these. I just wanted to point out that this is where you would start. Try to find an in-market audience, because then you can set your geographic targeting and you can select an in-market audience to where that only the people that are going to see your ad are only going to be people that are specifically in the geographic area that you set, your targeted locations, as well as Google has determined that they're in market for lawyer services or for, attorney services, whatever. So I would start there. If you can't find one, create a custom intent audience. So again, and all the custom intent audiences, and I can't go too deep into it, but go develop a really robust keyword list of all of the types of keywords that somebody that would be in need of that type of attorney would be searching for. And that becomes the keyword list that you add to a custom intent audience. Then you can also, well, for YouTube, you can't do used URLs, but for the display network, you can also go out and grab like competitor URLs and like legal type advice, websites where they talk about, the process of personal injury law or something like that. You could grab URLs like that, even YouTube video URLs that talk about these things, and put them in the custom intent audience list as well, because that's the criteria that Google uses. Essentially, when you create a custom intent audience, what you're doing is you're creating a bucket that you want Google to fill with people that meet the criteria that you set up with your targeting criteria through the custom intent audience. So if you grab a bunch of keywords that people would be searching for, and then, engaging with content that satisfies or answers those types of queries, you put those types of search queries or keywords, essentially phrases, into the custom intent audience. And then Google says, okay, this person, in your case, what was your name? Tom? Yeah, Tom wants a bucket of people that are actively or recently engaging with content around these types of keywords or this type of content, right? And so it will automatically start to fill that bucket, so to speak, with people that meet that criteria within a specific geographic, if it's for local, within a specific target geographic area, and they are known to Google as having a recent interest, right, in that particular, that type of content, which means they're likely in market for that. And that's their custom intent. Does that make sense? So, and it works well, but it's not, if you're going to use a custom intent audience, unlike life event or in market audiences where Google already knows that they're in market for those, with the custom intent, it takes a little while for the ad campaign to learn, right? It uses machine learning, AI, and such that when you first set it up, you're probably going to have some shitty results. Don't worry about it. Let the ads run, and the machine learning will take over and will start to refine the targeting to where it gets better and better, if that makes sense. So just again, custom intent audiences work really, really well. I've been testing them a lot over the last few months. and they work really well, but they take a little bit of time for them to mature, for the machine learning to kind of really learn through the what you said as the criteria. It's a good question. Now, anybody else a comment on that? How about you, Hernan? You do a lot of stuff with ads. He might be busy. Okay, I'm going to keep moving. Any advice? Okay, wait a minute. For example, how would you go about putting ads in front? Yeah, I already answered that. Since Google doesn't allow negative life event targeting, I couldn't see an obvious way to target their audience like you did in the training. Okay, yeah, again, use custom intent audiences then. That's the best way to do it. And with YouTube, you can only add keywords, at least for now, which is fine. And more equals better. In other words, but more as long as they're relevant. So don't use more general or broad keywords that aren't specifically relevant to the type of project you're trying to, the people that you're trying to target, because that will skew your results and give you less, your ads won't perform as well, in other words. So you want to build a really robust keyword list for YouTube ads that are specifically around that particular, and remember, put yourself in the shoes of somebody that would be in need of did you say it was personal injury attorney, whatever, and divorce attorney, excuse me. Put yourself in the shoes of somebody going through a divorce that's looking for an attorney, and try to think of it that way and develop a keyword list based around that. Does that make sense? And it works really well.